Hello fan, in this video we will look at some of the worst predictions about the Montreal Canadiens throughout the year. It's an important step in the analysis for two reasons. First, there's absolutely no shame in admitting when you're wrong. But more importantly, it's always good to review why certain predictions were made, to understand how we arrived at those conclusions, and how we can avoid mistakes in the future. Samuel Montembeault, defying the odds. When it comes to analyzing goaltenders, most of us fall into the Jon Snow category of knowing nothing. Or at least, most of us can admit that certain goaltenders have done an excellent job at rejuvenating their careers when a resurgence seemed unlikely. And that was certainly the case for Samuel Montembeault during his second season with the Habs. To be fair, few people expected him to find his stride with the Canadiens. Even the Habs press release was quite discouraging, essentially confirming that the team had claimed a player off waivers who had little to no success in the AHL or NHL. But a fresh start is exactly what some players need to ignite their remaining potential and attempt to rejuvenate their careers. Thanks to Carey Price's injury, Montembeault would end up playing 38 games for the Canadiens that season, and the results were dismal. He won only 8 games, producing a brutal 3.77 goals against average and a less than impressive save percentage of .891. That's why many, including myself, raised an eyebrow when the new general manager Kent Hughes signed Montembeault to a 2-year contract extension. I was working for the team at the time, so I stayed silent about it on social media, but there's no doubt I described the signing as a blatant and obvious move when discussing the situation with friends. He had far worse numbers than the other goaltender who shared the workload that season, Jake Allen, and had just come off surgery to fix an injured wrist. Act 2 Sammy. There's a saying in hockey, goaltenders are voodoo. And while it may sound somewhat vague, it's quite accurate when we consider how many goaltenders have had unpredictable careers throughout NHL history. Jim Carey, for example, joined the league, quickly won a Vezina Trophy, and then vanished into obscurity as fast as the Harlem Shake in the early 2010s. But in this case, Montembeault's resurgence wasn't impossible to foresee. He enjoyed a strong season in 2022-23, finishing the year with a very respectable save percentage of .901 while playing behind one of the least experienced blue lines in NHL history, not to mention ranking in the top 15 in terms of goals saved above average during 5v5 play. It was the best season of Montembeault's career, culminating with a hard-earned gold medal for Team Canada at the 2023 World Championship. In retrospect, the aforementioned wrist surgery played a significant role. He was finally healthy, and it showed. But beyond the surgery, I also failed to remember that goaltenders take longer to develop than skaters, something we should all keep in mind as the Canadiens continue their rebuild without a top-tier goaltending prospect. Players like Montembeault, who haven't had a legitimate chance to shine, are quite cheap to acquire. Whether through waivers or late draft picks, there are always goaltending talents available for NHL teams if they scratch beneath the surface. And now, Montreal Canadiens supporter, I want to hear from you. What's your opinion about this? Put your opinion in the comments. I don't know if you're aware, but your opinion is very important to us. I'll be back with more urgent news at any moment.